Good afternoon, everybody. I hope all of you well and happy. Also, I really hope all of you have a good progress in study and practicing. Before we start our Dharma class, please everybody do the breathing meditation or breathing exercise. Next, please visualize all sentient beings around us. We always wish to be happy. All sentient beings also always wish to be happy. We always wish to be free from suffering. All sentient beings also always wish to free from sufferings. But they wish to be free from suffering, but we always in sufferings, we have a lot of sufferings. We always wish to be happy, achieve the ultimate happiness, but we cannot because we cannot recognize the actual causes and conditions to achieve the lasting happiness. The actual cause to achieve lasting happiness is great compassion, which is the main important cause to cultivate bodhicitta. When we cultivate bodhicitta, then we can achieve Buddhahood, then we can bring all sentient beings from sufferings. We can liberate all sentient beings free from suffering and achieve then happiness state. Therefore, please cultivate compassion towards all sentient beings around us and wish all sentient beings free from suffering, wish all sentient beings be happy. In order to bring all sentient beings from suffering, to liberate from suffering, so we need to be Buddha. Therefore, please visualize all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and wish we also be Buddha as them. Therefore, please cultivate bodhicitta, the mind which is always wish to be Buddha, to benefit all sentient beings. The Buddha Shakyamuni, the Amida Buddha, Manjushri, all the Buddhas, many years ago, they were same as us. They had a lot of sufferings, problems. They also go through under control of all the negative thoughts. But due to the practice, follow the path, then they became different from us. Then they become a Buddha. Therefore, we also can be Buddha as them. Based on bodhicitta, then we need to practice 6 perfections within the six, the first two perfections, the perfection of generosity, the perfection of ethical discipline, are very important, also very suitable, very suit for the lay people. Therefore, most of you are lay person, therefore in your daily life. So first, you must practice generosity, then ethical discipline. In order to complete these two practices, then we need to practice the patience, the perfection of patience, because we need to reduce anger. In order to continuously generating the first three perfections, then we need the joy, perseverance. Diligently put effort, happily, willingly put effort to the practice. Then we can achieve the meditative civilization. Without the meditative civilization, we cannot achieve the special insight, which is perceived emptiness. Therefore, today we're going to study mainly about the benefits of cultivating serenity and insight. And also we're going to study particularly the nature, the exact meaning of serenity and special insight. Then we study the order, the sequence. Also, we need to learn why it is so important. We must practice both the serenity and special insight, the insight. Until now, we try to practice Dharma. We try to achieve something in this lifetime. But when we think how much we really achieve through our practice of Dharma, we haven't achieved much because we haven't had the serenity and the special insight. So these two topics are very important to know, very important to know unmistakably, because many Buddhist people has a lot of misunderstanding about the serenity and special insight. When we have mistaken idea about serenity and special insight, then we cannot really control our negative thoughts. In order to control the negative thoughts, we need a very powerful instrument, which is serenity and special insight. Once we have these two, the serenity and special insight, the rest of the practices we can achieve very easily, very easily. Therefore, we will do more precisely study about serenity and special insight. At the beginning, so you no need to open Lamrim. At the beginning, there are 6 parts. Number 1, the benefit of cultivating serenity and insight. So what kind of benefit we can have if we cultivate the serenity and insight. Now, how all the good qualities, how the meditative concentrations include into this two. First, everybody think, I seriously need to achieve serenity and spiritual insight. Then rest of the practices, any practices, we can achieve very easily. The second, why these two are very important? Because any kinds of meditative state, any kinds of meditations, mindfulness, any kinds of practices, Buddhist practices, must include into these two, serenity or insight. Then number three, what is the nature of serenity and insight? So, related to the topic number two, here you must remember the tree has many branches, leaves, fruits, so many things, but everything, come from the root of the tree. Same way, likewise, Buddha Shakyamunis, all other Buddhas, all the masters, they teach many different kinds of meditation, mindfulness, practices. Everything must include into serenity or similar to serenity, insight or very similar to insight. For example, when you do prostration, that time your mind fully concentrate to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. This is include is very similar with the serenity. It's not actual serenity, but very similar. So before you do prostration, you remember all the Buddha's qualities. That time you are using your wisdom to know the qualities. This kind of mind, very close to insight. So here you remember the tree and the branches and the root of the tree. So today we study once more about the nature of the serenity. Very important. From here, you really need the right understanding about serenity and insight. If you don't understand the exact, the meaning, the actual meaning of these two, then you really don't know how to practice, how to do meditations. Therefore, at the beginning, now you can open your Lamrim, page number 15. Page number 15. Right? Okay. At the last paragraph, the nature of serenity and insight. So how we know, the actual meaning, then there's a quotation from the Buddha's teaching, Sutra unraveling the intended meaning. While you dwell in the solitude and properly direct your intention inward. Therefore, so you have to stay very quiet place. So even though when you do the meditation, you stay in your own room, close the doors and window, then you just stay alone. Physically, you need to, isolate from others. Then, second, direct your intention inward. Okay, here everybody, we can do experiment. we can do, kind of practice. First, everybody, just imagine you are looking around the MBS. Just your minds go around the MBS. Or just go around the, marina, garden by the bay. Or you just imagine your minds going around the coffee shop, food court. Right? Now your mind is everywhere. Your mind is going around. Continuously, your mind let it go everywhere. Now, properly direct your intention inward. Now just, intention, just look inward. Inward. Then you attend to just those topics upon which you have carefully reflected. Here, now everybody reflect. Everybody focus on Buddha, whichever Buddha statue you have. You just remember the Buddha's face, a gesture. And your intention, your mind just fully focus the Buddha image in your mind. Then your attention is mentally engaged by continuously attending inwardly. Then your attention continuously, focus inwardly. Only focus the Buddha, the image of the Buddha in your mind. Right? So here, three things we must remember. First, let our minds go everywhere. Is let it wander everywhere. Thus suddenly, then you direct your attention inward. Don't just let you go out. Just the attention bring inward. After you direct your intention inward, then the attention, the mind, focus on the Buddha, the image of the Buddha in your mind. This is number 2. Then number 3, continuously, your attention continuously watch or focus the image of the Buddha in your mind continuously. So for 3 things. First, let it go. Second, direct the intention. Focus on the image of the Buddha, then continuously. Then the state of mind wherein you do this and stay this way often. Stay your mind continuously, watch or focus the image of the Buddha continuously, and which both physical and mental plancy arise is called serenity. So right now we don't have any experience about the true plancy, the physical and the mental plancy. So after you practice the mindfulness continuously, let's say since today, continuously every day, you do this practice for maybe 1 month. Every day, morning maybe 1 hour, evening 1 hour, afternoon when you have free time, do like 10-20 minutes, do 1 month. Slowly you're going to feel, oh, Before, when I do meditation, I feel my body very easily feel tired. Then slowly you're going to feel, oh, now physically I'm very comfortable. You cannot feel physically tired. The physical tiredness is not there. Then slowly, when your physical body becomes very serviceable, then slowly your mind also becomes very serviceable. Then you cannot feel mentally tired. Then both physically, mentally, you feel very bliss. When you have this kind of feeling, then you are almost, ready to achieve the serenity. So this is the quotation from the sutra. Now that explanation here. This means that you take as an object of meditation any appropriate object, right? You take an object of meditation, any appropriate object. Which object is more suitable for you? Like a Buddha statue, like a impermanence, or like a beautiful, like a flower. So you need to select an object. Then since you selected the object of meditation, you should not change. Continuously you use the same object for your meditation, such as 5 aggregates. Having determined that is the topic in 12 branches of the scriptures. So object, then with undistracted mindfulness and vigilance. After you selected an object, then your mind focus on the chosen object. Let's say we selected the Buddha image. So first you must have the image of the Buddha in your mind. Then your mind, your attention focus on the image of the Buddha in your mind. When you focus on the image of the Buddha, second, you need another very important matter, another important mind, which is vigilance. Vigilance. If you don't have, the vigilance mind, when your mind goes somewhere, you cannot recognize. Therefore, mindfulness and vigilance. You focus your attention on the object and fix it to the object continuously, right? You focus your attention on this object and fix it to the object continuously. So that your mind stabilize for its own accord of the object of meditation. When you produce the delight and bliss of physical and mental fluency, then your state of the meditative concentration became serenity. Let's say, for example, everybody able to focus, our mind able to focus on the chosen object continuously for 3 hours. One object, one mind. Just focus the chosen object for 2 to 3 hours. But we haven't had the delight, the physical and mental blissness, then you haven't achieved the serenity. Once you have this true plenty, physical and mental plenty, then your concentration, your meditative concentration, it then becomes the serenity. So among these two, which one come first? First, the mental plenty. Second, the physical plenty. So this is the meaning of serenity. Object, the mindfulness, vigilance, then the mindfulness, continuously mindful on the chosen object continuously for many hours. Once there, you can have the mental plenty, the physical plenty. When you have both of them, then your mindfulness, your concentration became serenity. Become serenity. These come about through just sustaining your attention inwardly. This physical and mental plenty will come if you continuously, right, come about through just sustaining your attention inwardly, without distraction from object of meditation. Not just inwardly. First, your attention focus on the Buddha image. Then after 20 minutes, your attention focus on impermanence. That means your mind is distracted. Therefore, when you do particular practice for achieving serenity, in between you remember do some other dharma practice you should not do. Let's say you do 1 hour practice, dharma practice. Within the 1 hour, 20 minutes, you do your daily recitation, chanting, prostration, making offering, whatever, 20 minutes. The rest of the 40 minutes, you only do practice for achieving serenity. Rest of the 40 minutes, in between, if you remember reciting mantra, you should not. In between, you remember, cultivating bodhicitta, visualizing Buddha, you should not. Just focus on your meditation. Also, please don't change the object of meditation. Once you select it, you must use the same object until you achieve serenity. Right? Therefore, look at here. This comes about through just sustaining your attention inwardly without distraction from object of meditation. Therefore, in between you remember, even though it's a virtuous thing, but you should not. So I hope these paragraphs give you the right understanding of serenity. That means let's say your eyes consciousness is look like your mind. So when you watch a beautiful flower, you just watch the flower. In between, you are hearing the music. You need to ignore. You should not your attention go through the sound. You just watch your eyes consciousness. Just watch to the flower continuously. When you watch the flower, make sure you're able to see the flower very clearly, very vividly. But you should not think this flower is good, bad, yellow, white. Whatever you perceive is yellow, just you watch the yellow flower. You should not think the flower is big, small, nice. Same thing when you do meditation, about achieving for serenity, your attention, your mind fully focused on the chosen object. You should not do any analysis. Just watch. Just watch. Then next, about the insight. As to the nature of insight, the same sutra says, after you have attained the mental fluency and physical fluency, you stay therein and eliminates other mental aspect. You then regret inwardly and with a discriminate the mental image, which is the domain of the meditative concentration on the topic upon which you have reflected. So now let's see, everybody already achieved serenity. This means our mind, our attention able to focus on the chosen object continuously, just not having any distraction, not having any other, the mental movement. The mind, attention, only focus our chosen object. Second, within the concentration, within the mindfulness, mindful on the chosen object, then slowly the wisdom need to analyze about the chosen object. That means, the water is very calm. It's very calm. There's no any, movement. There's no any wave. Very calm. Now you need to get, let's say, you have a container of water. The container is full of water. Before you can see there's a lot of movement, little wave, because you checked before. Then slowly the water becomes very calm. It looks like glass, no movement. Then if I ask you, can you, take out the stone, from the water, Yes, you can say yes. I said, please make sure there's no movement. There's no any movement in the water. Then when you try to pick up the stone from water, you have to be very careful. You're able to, pick up the stone without moving any parts of water. Same thing, your mind fully focused on the chosen object. Then without distract your mind from the object, then you slowly do analyze. Oh, the Buddha image, which is eye focus, it is impermanence. Make sure when you think it is impermanent, you can see the image is very clearly, vividly. Oh, the image is selflessness. Then the wisdom analyze the nature of the image of the Buddha. When you analyze, still you can see the image of the Buddha very clearly. So this is what we call insight. Topic upon which you have reflected with relation to the image, that are the domains of the such as concentration. So this is what does mean special insight. Insight. The next paragraph, page number 16, the last. In that sutra passages, differentiation means distinguishing the diversity of conventional phenomena. Full definition means distinguishing the real ultimate natures. The noble Asanga explained that through the examination is when conceptual attention possessed of wisdom apprehend a sign through the analysis, meaning approximate examination. So this passage actually is explaining. So when we do analytical meditation, when we try to achieve insight, your mind is fully focused on the object, then the object can be the conventional phenomena, the object can be the ultimate phenomena. Doesn't matter which one you can choose, it's up to you, up to the practitioner, right? That means the spiritual insight and the serenity, we cannot distinguish based on the object. The serenity not necessarily focus on the conventional phenomena. The insight not necessary to focus on the ultimate phenomena. Therefore, the insight and serenity, we cannot distinguish based on the object, The serenity and spiritual insight both can focus on the conventional phenomena and ultimate phenomena. Okay, next, page number 17. So there's a quotation from the Mahayana Sutra, knows as the part of the serenity, observing the name of the phenomenon. Understand the part of the insight to be analysis of the meaning. And based on the genuine stability through the directing your attention to your mind. And through differentiating phenomena, there's the meditative serenity and insight. Through the serenity, you can able to focus your mind on the object. Through the insight, through the wisdom, you're able to see the real nature of the phenomena. This is the meaning. This state, the stabilization of your mind on the basis of genuine concentration is serenity. And the wisdom that differentiates phenomena is insight. Right? That means now you can see the differences between serenity and insight. Because here, that stabilization of the mind on the basis of genuine concentration is serenity, and the wisdom that differentiates phenomena is insight. Since this comment to the same effect on what those sutra says, it is appropriate to construct those sutra passage is some other sense. So this is how we can differentiate between these two, spiritual insight and serenity. Now, please everybody turn page number 18. Page number 18, there's a quotation from the Ratna Krasanti. With regard to the serenity's object of meditation is, read carefully, with regard to that, serenity's object of meditation is a non-discursive image of something, which is either a case of the diversity of phenomena or which represent the real natures. So this is the meaning of serenity. Again, look at, with regard to the serenity's object, what is the object of serenities? Therefore here, serenity's object of meditation is a non-discursive image of something, which is either a case of diversity or of phenomena, or which is represent the real natures. Doesn't matter which object you use of your meditation of serenity, but serenity, just watch. Don't do any any analytical, don't do any analysis, just watch. That means non-discursive. Right? Therefore, once more, with regard to that, serenity's object of meditation is a non-discursive image of something, which is either a case of diversity, mean conventional phenomena, or ultimate phenomena. This means, let's say everybody here, we do study about impermanence. Through reasonings or logic, you fully understood impermanence. When you understood impermanence, the impermanence you use as an object of meditation of serenity. When you're using the impermanence as an object of meditation of serenity, you just watch the impermanence. Your mind just hold impermanence. Should not do any analysis. That means non-discursive image. Discursive. Second, you can see the serenity here. Insight's object, again, insight's object of meditation is discursive image of something. Serenity, remember, serenity's object of meditation is non-discursive image of something. Insight's object of meditation is discursive image of something, which is case of diversity of phenomena, or which represent the real natures. That means these two we cannot, differentiate based on the object. Both can focus on conventional phenomena and ultimate phenomena. The most important, when you do, like a more for serenity practice, that means non-discursive image. So you can see Lamrim, they use many times image. Many people think when you do meditation, people just watching, this eyes watching on like something is wrong. First you watch, like image of the Buddha, you watch something. After you watching for, quite long time, then you have a picture in your mind. For example, I ask, okay, everybody, will use the image of the Buddha as a meditation object. Therefore, first you need to watch, you need to watch the Buddha's statue or painting or photo. You watch carefully. Then slowly you have an image, very exact image of the Buddha in your mind. When you have an image of the Buddha in your mind, then you just hold your attention, your mind, just watch the Buddha image. Don't do any analyze. Therefore, we call non-discursive image. After you achieve serenity, then same image you have in your mind, then you do the non, then you do the, you use the object, which is the Buddha statue, Buddha image, then you do analyze. Therefore, you can see a difference between these two. One is, first we saw non-discursive image. Second, we saw a discursive image. Right? The next paragraph, this states, this is a quotation from the Renakra Santi. This states that meditative serenity is non-discursive civilization on something among either the diversity or the real nature of phenomena. And that insight is analysis. Insight is analysis of either of those two objects. Two objects refer to the diversity, mean confessional phenomena. Then another one, the ultimate. Two objects. This is also the intended meaning of the passage in the sutra, unrevealing intended meanings. Then why we say many times the conventional phenomena we call diversity. Because when you look at the conventional phenomena, it has a different shapes, different color, different size, different trace, so many different variety. All when you look at the conventional phenomena, look at your 5 fingers, different size, there's a different shapes, different colors. We call diversity. The conventional phenomena we call the diversity. Then the emptiness, because the non-diversity. When you think about the nature, emptiness of this finger, this finger, within the emptiness level, there's no diversity. Everything look like oneness. This means these two, passage, we learn serenity and insight. We cannot differentiate based on object. Both of them can use the conventional ultimate truth as an object. What is the difference between serenity and insight? I'm asking you a question. Everybody answer in your mind. What is the differences between serenity and insight? Okay, everybody can say both of them can focus on either conventional or ultimate. We cannot differentiate this on object. We must differentiate between these two, discursive and non-discursive. This means the mind fully focus on the object, not doing any analysis, then we can call serenity. The mind is fully focused on the object, at the same time, the mind, the wisdom doing analysis, then we can call insight. Then there's a quotation from another sutra, O Bhagavan, how many objects does serenity have? How many objects does serenity have? The Buddha replied, 1, mainly a non-discursive image. Non-discursive image. How many objects does insight have? Just one. Just one. What does this mean? Discursive image. How many objects of both are there? 2. Mainly the limitless of the existence and achievement of your purpose. Right? Just both one. Number 1 is called non-discursive image. Second one, discursive image. Both limitless of existence and achievement of your purpose. What does mean limitless object? Limitless object. The next quotation from Asanga states that limitless of existence refer to the both diversity and real nature of phenomena. Diversity means the conventional phenomena and ultimate phenomena. Limitless existence means only two, the two truths. So serenity and insight each take both ultimate and conventional as object of meditation. Please remember this sentence. So serenity and insight each take both ultimate and conventionalities as object of meditation. Not necessarily only one. Just as the Ratnakarasati explained above, thus, meditative serenity and insight are not differentiated in terms of their represent object of meditation. For there is a meditative serenity that knows emptiness, and there is an insight which does not know emptiness. So therefore, the one is the serenity meditation, not necessarily the object of meditation must be conventional. There's a serenity which can use emptiness as an object of meditation. Also, there's an insight. They use conventional phenomena as an object, not necessarily to use the emptiness as an object of meditation. Therefore, serenity and insight, we cannot differentiate based on object, which is conventional and ultimate. There's a reason here, look at. In the represent object of meditation, for there is a meditative serenity, there's no emptiness. That means the meditative serenity not necessarily use only the conventional phenomena. Also, they can use emptiness as an object of meditation. And also, there's an insight which does not know emptiness. Also, meditative serenity, now you can see there's a Tibetan, Jine, serenity. Ji means calm. Ne means abiding. Therefore, you can say calm abiding. Jine. Is your mind quitting the movement towards external object? The ji means calm. Your mind quitting. Ji means what ji? What quitting? Means movement towards external object, and then abide, ne. On the internal object of meditation, insight. So what does mean insight? On an internal object of meditation, insight, you can see lak thong, thong. Lak, therefore, special. Thong means insight. Insight, thong means superior. Lak thong means special seeing. Special insight means not only mindful about the object, they're able to see the actual reality of the object. I hope now everybody is quite clear. Now I'm giving an example, why superiors? Superior. Let's say now everybody, have a picture of the Buddha. Amida Buddha, or Buddha Shakyamuni, or Avalokiteshvara, whichever you more suit for you. You just have an image of the Buddha. Right, in your mind. Just you have the image of the Buddha. Next, your mind is wandering everywhere. Then now you pull back, drag your mind inward and focus on the image of the Buddha. Continuously. Make sure this time you can see the image of the Buddha very clearly. Very clearly. This moment we are just, our attention, just watching the Buddha's image, just watching. Right? Therefore, this moment we can see only the Buddha image. We have only the image. We can see only Buddha image. Then next, within the concentration, when you analyze about the Buddha, okay, the Buddha image I have in my mind, it is impermanence. Now your attention become superior. Because before you just watch the Buddha, you perceive the Buddha. Now you are perceiving impermanence of the Buddha, emptiness of the Buddha. Therefore, we go superior, or superior. Not just watching, you are perceiving the, what you call, qualities of the Buddha image. Then we call insight or special insight, Laktong. Then there's some misunderstanding by someone. Some claim that is very important also. Some claim that a mind resting in a non-discursiveness state without vivid intensity is serenity. So please read this sentence read this sentence, Chinese or English, whatever you use. Some claim that a mind resting in a non-discursive state, means the mind just resting, means just focus on the object, chosen object, but without vivid intensity. They cannot see very clearly. This is the meaning of insight. It's wrong. Some claim that a mind resting in a non-discursive state without vivid intensity is a serenity, number one. Number two, while such as a mind with mean that mind resting in a non-discursiveness with the vivid intensity is insight. Is also wrong. That means the mind is just only focused on the chosen object, but the mind doesn't have the vivid intensity of the image. They cannot see the object is very clearly, vividly. This is insight. When the mind resting or focus on the object, the mind can see the object very vividly, clearly with the intensity is an insight. This, concept, this idea is wrong. This is not correct because it contradicts the definition of serenity and insight that are established at the length and the source, such as the word of this. There's a lot of quotation that you can see in all the quotations, since they try to prove the idea is wrong. How is it wrong? So next, page number 19. Very important, okay? This text says that meditative serenity is attention concentrated, attention, not just attention, but concentrated one pointedly on an object of meditation. While insight is wisdom, that means the special insight is a wisdom that properly distinguishing the meaning of the object of knowledge. In particular, the presence or absence of the vivid intensity of the mind in the non-conceptual concentration indicate whether the concentration lacks or not. It is utterly incorrect to claim that it is indicate the difference between the serenity and insight. So having the vivid intensity or not, it is not differentiating between these two. So not having the vivid intensity means the mind has a lot of laxity. While you're doing meditation, if you're able to see the object is very vividly, vivid intensity, that means your mind is free from laxity. This is not differentiating between these two. It's differentiating the mind is with the laxity or without laxity. Absence the laxity or presence the laxity. Therefore, again, so when we do meditation on a chosen object, we have to see the chosen object very clearly, vividly, very clearly. If you're not able to see the chosen object clearly, that means the laxity is present there. The laxity is there. When you're able to see the chosen object very clearly, that means the laxity is absence. Here what we learned when we do meditation, the mind have to be very focused on the chosen object, not only focus the object very vividly, clearly. Make sure that time we don't have a laxity. One of the great obstacles of it, laxity. Therefore, when we do meditation, look like our mind is there. Look like our mind, our attention is focusing on the object, but somehow the object we cannot see very clearly. Means we have a very strong laxity. Very strong, it's not dullness, laxity. Why we have a laxity? Because we have a lot of dullness. Due to the dullness, cause the laxity. When we have a laxity, we cannot see the object clearly. Then we try to see the object very clearly. We put a lot of focus. We try to put a lot of effort. We put too much effort. Then our mind going to distract, go somewhere. Therefore, we have to do very balancedly. Should not focus too much. If you focus too much, we will go distraction. We have to be relaxed. If we relax too much, then we will have a laxity. Do you remember how you to adjust the volume of your the sound system? When you turn on very fast, there's a ring. It's too noisy, right? Too noisy. If you have to switch, you change very gently. Same way, when you do meditation, make sure you have a object, very big object, make sure your mind is focused on the chosen object, not wandering anywhere. Okay, this one we learn, we need, the Vivek intensity. No Vivek intensity, the laxity is presence. When we have a Vivek intensity object, the laxity absence. It is utterly incorrect to claim that it indicates the differentiation between serenity and insight. This is because in all concentration of meditative serenity, you definitely must clear away laxity, and because all concentration free from laxity and inevitable limp state of mind. That means any kinds of concentration of meditative serenity, you definitely must clear away laxity, and because all concentration free from laxity, are inevitably limped state of mind. That means laxity also have to be very clear. You have to see the object very clearly. So I think many people, always ask a question. So when I do meditation, I cannot see the object is very clearly. Now, today you learn why we cannot see the chosen object very clearly, because we have a lot of strong laxity. Why we have a lot of laxity? Because we have a dullness. Dullness means, tiredness, like sleepy, this thing. When you feel tiredness, sleepy, your mind also become quite lazy, tired. Then the object cannot see. Therefore, we have to clear away the laxity. When you clear away the laxity, then definitely you can see the chosen object very clearly. And somebody, many people asking question, I cannot focus. When I do meditation, I cannot focus more than 1 minute. How come? Because generally, our minds act so quick, so fast. So first we focus our mind, our attention on the object of meditation. First moment we focus, we thought we notice, our mind has gone. Therefore, why this happened to us? Why we cannot focus? Why the mind has gone? Because we don't have a vigilance. We don't have a vigilance. We call, tempa. Shejin means, look like, vigilance means, look at, so you have a very powerful sensor behind you. Behind you, you have a very powerful sensor. It's very powerful camera. Right? I sit like this, I move. That sensor is right? I move this way, that sensor is because the sensor is so powerful, each of my movement they can detect. The sensor can detect. Same way, we need, vigilance, shejin. Mean when we do meditation, our attention focus on the object. When the attention distract on other object, external object, the vigilance must notice. Therefore, what we need very powerful vigilance. If you have a very powerful vigilance on your our mind disturbed, we will notice. Therefore, many people ask question, how come I cannot focus? Because we don't have enough, strong vigilance. Therefore, free from laxity are inevitably limpid state of mind. Thus, identify concentration and concentration refer to the serenity, and wisdom here refer to the insight. The concentration and wisdom that focus on the real nature according to the whether your mind knows as its object either the true selflessness. Do not identify them according to the whether your mind rests in the non-discursive, clear, blissful. So these are all the quotation, it explained why the concentration must free from laxity and destruction. Okay, next we start why it is necessary to cultivate both, right? Why we need to practice both of them. Why is it insufficient to cultivate either serenity or insight alone, right? Insight alone. So why it is necessary to cultivate both, I will explain. So we already studied a bit last time. If you light an oil lamp for the purpose of weaving a picture in the middle of the night, so middle of the night, remember the night. He remember the picture. You will see the depiction very clearly if the lamp is both very bright and undisturbed by the wind. So wind, bright. Bright, the mind have to be very vivid, able to see the object very vividly, mind must be bright. The wind is destruction mind look like wind. If you light an oil lamp for the purpose of weaving a picture in the middle of night, you will see the depiction very clearly if the lamp is both very bright and undisturbed by wind. If the lamp is not bright or is bright but flickering the wind, then you will not see the image clearly. The bright means the mind is very vivid, very clear about the objects. Objects see very clearly. But if the mind disturbed, then the mind cannot focus on the object. Likewise, when looking for the profound meanings, let's say emptiness or selflessness, the profound meaning, you will clearly see reality if you have both. Both what? The wisdom that unrearingly discern the meaning of reality and unmoving intention that stay as you wish on the object of meditation. However, if you do not have wisdom that knows how things are, even you have a non-discursive concentration in which your mind is stable and do not scatter to other objects, then you lack the eyes which see reality. So when we do meditation, we need, our mind must be very stable on the chosen object. At the same time, we need to analyze. We need a wisdom. Otherwise, you can see the object, but you cannot see the reality of the object. And even with the perspective that understands reality, selflessness, if you lack a firm concentration, that stay you are pointedly on the object, then it will be impossible to clearly see the meaning of the way things are, because you will be disturbed by the wind of uncontrollably flickering discursive thoughts. This is why you need both serenity and insight, right? Therefore, if there's no mindfulness, even though you realize selflessness, emptiness, you already realize emptiness, but you cannot see the emptiness very clearly because you don't have a mindfulness. You have a very good mindfulness. If you don't have the wisdom to realize, if you don't have the insight, the wisdom, then you cannot see the truth nature of phenomena. Therefore, look like we need a very stable mind, very concentrated mind. At the same time, we need the wisdom, which is analyze the truth. Therefore, we need to practice both serenity and insight. Otherwise, only insight is not enough. Only serenity is not enough. So we need to practice both of them. Then there's another quotation from the Kamala Shila. Stage of the meditation says, with bare insight that lack serenity, the yogi's mind is distracted by object, right? If there's only wisdom, then the yogi's mind is distracted by objects, like an oil lamp in the wind. So if there's an oil lamp in the wind, there's a light, but they cannot, illuminate the area because the light is just moving. It will not be stable. For this reason, what sublime wisdom sees will not be very clear. As this is so, rely really equally on both. Therefore, we need to practice both. Otherwise, there's a light, but you cannot see the object very clearly. If there's a just very clear, the light is very clear, if there's a lot of wind, also we cannot see the object very clearly. There another quotation from Mahaparinirvana Sutra says, Sharvaka does not see the lineage of the Tathagata because their concentration is greater than the wisdom. But their serenity is so strong, the wisdom is very weak. The Buddhist otherwise sees it. What sees? They sees the Tathagata's nature, but unclearly because their wisdom is greater than the concentration. The Tathagata sees everything because they have serenity and insight in equal measures. Right? Therefore, we have to balance. On the other hand, mindfulness. Other hand, the wisdom. Then you can fully focus your mind on the object. At the same time, you can analyze about the object. For example, you fully focus on the image of the Buddha in your mind. Then slowly you can do analytical meditations. As a beginner, first few months, only you do mindfulness, just mindful about the chosen object. Just focus on the chosen object. Don't do any analysis, any other study. Just focus on the chosen object. Then after you achieve serenity, then you do analyze about the object and try to see the reality. When you do analyze, make sure your mind still able to focus, fully focus the chosen object. Then remember the analogy, The water is very calm and very clear, calm and clear. And try to get the stone from water, not having any movement. Very carefully analyze about the image of the object. With the power of serenity, continuously, with the power of serenity, your mind, like a lamp placed where there's no wind, will be unmoved by the wind of discursive thoughts. This is again the meaning of serenity. With the power of serenity, your mind, like a lamp place where there is no wind, will be unmoved by the wind of discursive thoughts. With insight, others cannot divert your sins. You have abandoned the infinite entanglement of bad views. If you analyze when you have achieved serenity, you avoid the fuels of external unsteadiness, so your concept of self-awareness will be very clear. So you must do the analysis after you achieve the serenity. Then the mindfulness is always there. That you can see the self-awareness is very clearly. Thus, the mental state of insight has the quality. Look at here. The mental state of insight has a quality of steadiness. That means the insight can be very focused on the object. Steadiness, which derive from non-discursive meditative serenity, and a quality of knowing how things exist, which does not derive from the meditative serenity. For example, the lamp's ability to luminous forms derive from the wick and the preceding moment of the fire, flame. It does not derive from such a thing as the screen that protects it from the wind. Now here you can see, the lamp luminous, the area is come from where? It derives from the wick, like a butter or a candle, whatever wick, and the preceding moment of the flame. Right? The wick and the flame illumine the area, but it does not derive from such a things. The screen that protect is from the wind. Then they put like screen, like a cotton, put cotton, make sure they block the wind. So the luminous parts, luminous parts come from the wick and the fire, not come from the screen which is protect the wind. This analogy. The second analogy here, it does not derive from such a thing. Screen that protect is from the wind. However, the stability of the steady flame of the lamp does not derive from the screen. Thus, if you engage in the analysis with the wisdom process of the meditative equipoise of the serenity. So here, what you need to learn here, very simple way I put together. Let's say after you achieve serenity, then you're going to achieve insight. The insight has two qualities. One is a very stability is there. Thus, the insight is very stable on the object. Chosen object is come from serenities. Then the serenity has a qualities to know the truth, know the reality. So this is come from the wisdom. For example, the lamp luminous the area is come from the wick and the flame, not come from the screen which is protect the wind. Then the light stay, stillness, there's no any movement. The light just, burn stillness, not any movement. The not movement, always there stay. It's not come from the flame and the wick. It's come from the, the protection, the screen. Same, when you do analyze, so the mind is not moving from the object. The mind is always focused on the object. The focusful mind is come from serenity. Serenity. At the same time, the mind is doing analyze. The mind is doing analyze, do analyze. The analyzed part is come from the insight. So there's a two qualities. Here you must remember the lamp, the light come from the wick and the flame. Then luminous the area is come from the flame and the wick. The light is very stillness, is not come from the wick, and the flame is come from the protections. So therefore, we have to practice both of them. This analogy I thought very important. So next quotation for Dharma Samagita Sutra. When your mind is in a meditative equipoise, you will undistract reality just as it is. Then there's another quotation from Kamalashila. Because your mind moves like a river, it does not rest without the foundation of meditative serenity. Therefore, our mind is moving like a river, continuously moving and surrounding, wandering everywhere, because no resting. Because without the foundation of meditative serenity, a mind that is not in a meditative equipoise cannot understand reality just as it is. Also, Bhagavan says, with meditative equipoise, you know reality just as it is. Right? Therefore, our mind cannot be rested because we don't have, the meditative serenity. We cannot see the reality because we don't have the insight. When you achieve serenity, you not only stop the force of the movement in the wisdom of consciousness that properly analyze selflessness, you also stop the force of destruction from the object of meditations. So these are, I think, all the quotation quoted for why we need to practice both of them. Okay, so next we will study about, I think, the order, right? So today we can stop here. Next, we will start our lesson from how to be certain about their order. Why, the order is most important. Must go, like first serenity, second insight. Then we will study about how to trend in meditative serenities. Okay, so before we do the dedication, I'll give you, another simple we can use another simple analogy. Let's say everybody very angry with one person, just one person. We have one common person who make us very angry, right? So when we get very angry, when we get very anger, when arouse angers, we got a lot of disturb in our mind. So there's a destruction. Then how we can reduce the anger? How we can reduce the anger? We can reduce anger for a short time using many different methods, different techniques. How we can fully reduce the anger? Then we need to meditate on compassion. We need to cultivate compassion. Whom we should cultivate compassion? We must cultivate compassion to the person who made us angry. In order to cultivate compassion to that person, first we need to visualize the person, right? We need to visualize the person. We need to remember the person image. First we remember the person. When you remember the person, we have a picture of the person in our mind. So when we have picture of the person in our mind, then we just watch the person for a while. This moment we remember something else, then the image of the person has gone, no more there. Then again, we have to, visualize the person again. Make sure the image of the person is there. Yes, we can see the person, but not so clearly, because we have a laxity. But at the beginning, I can see the person, and second or third moment, in my mind is wondering something else, destruction. If we're not able to see the image of the person in our mind very continuously, then we're not going to understand the truth, the reality of the person. Therefore, we have to hold the image of the person in our mind continuously, until our mind is able to very stable to visualize the person. Then, after we fully able to focus the person, then we do analyze. Yes, the person is impermanent. The person is actually very kind to me, right? Then slowly we can see the truth, the reality of the person. Therefore, I said at the beginning many times, you can do your practice, whatever you do in your daily life, in your every day. Let's say 1 hour practice, 20 minutes your daily practice, 40 minutes only about achieving serenity. Remember, you must select one object. Always use same object for few months. Make sure you're able to see the object very clearly, continuously. If you're not able to see the object very clearly, our laxity is very strong. Yes, you can see the object very clearly for a short time, then you cannot remember. Means you don't have the mindfulness again, because you got distraction. When your mind is distracted by external object, by some other, spiritual activities, you should not. You stop. You must again, continuously focus on a chosen object until you achieve serenity. Now, how I know I achieve serenity? Then remember the two balances, physical and mental balances. When you have the true balance, then your meditative concentration transforms into serenity. When you achieve serenity, you have a very powerful, your concentration becomes very powerful, strong, can focus for a few hours. Then this is what we call non-discursive, like a mind. Then second, within the, based on achieving serenity, then we try to achieve insight. How? Then you use the same object. You should not change the object. Use the same object. First you do, like practice of serenity. Then slowly you do analyze about the object without moving your focus. After you do a lot of analyze through the wisdom, then you will have another physical and mental plan C, which is produced from the wisdom. Then the the wisdom paths is transformed into insight. So today we can stop our class here. And next we will start from the order of the serenity and insight, and also we study next maybe 3 pages. Okay, so almost I think finish our time. Okay, we have maybe 15 minutes. Yeah. So okay, why not we can have some question related to this today's lesson.
Yes, Geshe. So the first questions come from Chi. If one would like to meditate on blue, should one visualize the different contrasts of blue of an object that is of a preferred blue? If so, what exactly should we be seeing in our meditation practice?
Thank you so much for asking this question. Therefore, I often tell in our class, many Buddhist people very interested, very much interested to do meditation about our breath. Because also we learn from many masters, particularly from Thai masters. It's very true. If you do only the breathing meditation, if you achieve serenity based on the breathing meditation, only this is not sufficient for your practice. Second, you have to change your object of the serenity. But most important, we must remember, when you achieve serenity based on any object, the next, you can achieve serenity with any objects, emptiness, impermanence, compassion, very easy. Therefore, we will learn, look like you build very good water irrigation. With a powerful tool, you can stop the water. When you release, the water move very smooth, very fast, not having any problems. Therefore, you can use any below object, like yellow object, whatever, is only for achieving serenity, but it cannot reduce any negative thoughts. Cannot. Still it's okay. You can use like a blue object as an object of meditation in order to only achieve serenity. The second, based on the below object, you do analytical meditations. analyze the below object, then you perceive the below object is impermanence. The below object is like, nature is emptiness. Then your practice going more profound. So therefore, based on Lama Tsong-kha-pa Lamrim, many masters says, as a beginner, the best you chose the Buddha image as an object of meditation, right? Why? Instead of using below object, why not we use the Buddha? Because when you focus on the Buddha for 10 minutes, also you are receiving a lot of merit, you are accumulating a lot of merit. Also, the moment of the death, somehow we have to go through the, the death. So moment of the death, for you very easily remember the Buddha. Then you can pass away within the remember Buddha. This become very powerful power transformations. Yes, you are right. If you only using the below object as object of meditation, you cannot achieve anything, just mindfulness. But still, you can, suppress. You can control the negative thoughts for a while. But after the meditation, everything arises again. So therefore, you not just only use, this is not good idea to use, the color, whatever, for meditation object. Use the Buddha, also use impermanence, also use, like a selflessness, emptiness. Those are the, I think, best object. Next question, please.
Yes, Geshe La. Next question comes from Sui Kim.
Hi, Geshe La, thank you. Geshe, I'd like to ask, when you say you withdraw your mind inwards, do you actually move down to the heart chakra and visualize the Buddha image there? But if I was taught that you should visualize a Buddha in front of you, not too high, too low, and meters apart from your head, would that be a distraction in a way that it causes the wind to move up? Yeah.
Yes, here I'm not, going to talk about the chakra and channel. When we do, let's say, soul offering, when we do Vajrasattva practice, that time, yes, we need to visualize, the Buddha, or Vajrasattva, or Amida Buddha, whichever Buddha, just in front of us in the space. This is mainly we visualize for purification. We visualize, like offering. This is different. When you use the Buddha image, the Buddha mainly for achieving serenity, then that time you should not visualize the Buddha in front of you in the space, because we call Om. You can see, next few pages, after a few pages. So serenity, everything you say inward, not outward. Therefore, we must, differentiate. We must know how we visualize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas when we do soul offering, when we do, prostration, when we do Vajrasattva practice. Also, we must know how we visualize, how we can, use the Buddha image or the Buddha for mainly achieving serenity. This means you must remember the image of Buddha in your mind, and you watch the image of the Buddha in your mind, not outside, not in the space. When you, in order to achieve serenity, when you visualize the Buddha for in the space, that means you are looking outward. Then you are distracted by the external object. Yes, these are differences.
Is there a difference between visualizing at the heart chakra, the throat chakra, or the crown chakra?
Yeah, heart chakra, throat chakra is also, there's a two. One can use this chakra based on after achieve serenity. Yes, I think related to your question, in the Sutrayana practice, in the Sutrayana teaching, the serenity, spiritual insight must achieve, must achieve, first we must achieve serenity, then second we must achieve insight based on serenity. But yes, according to the Tantrayana practice, Tantrayana teaching, there's a technique you can achieve serenity and insight, together at the same time. Because, there are different methods and different technique. Particularly when you practice the wind energy, there's a way you can, achieve both of, together. But then you should not think, oh, then I must practice the Tantrayana, not the Sutrayana. Sutrayana first achieve serenity, second insight. It takes time. But in order to practice the Tantrayana technique, you must have a few conditions. Yes, this is the answer for you.
Okay. One more question, Ken.
Can.
When you visualize impermanence, when focus on impermanence, what is it that you are focusing on? Is it the image of the object that's impermanence, word itself, or the sound, or what is it exactly that you
Thank you so much for asking this question. Also very important question. We never use, we should not use visualize impermanence. We say, first you understood impermanence. Let's say, any object, let's say you just remember a conditioned phenomena. Then you study about the conditioned phenomena. Finally, you really understood this object is impermanent. This object impermanent. Once you fully understood the impermanence, your mind just hold the impermanent as an object of meditation. Just impermanent. Impermanent. That means the mind just only focus the impermanent, which is you realize. Just remember, your attention just attend the impermanence continuously for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, slowly maybe half hour. This is how you meditate on impermanence. Then meditate on compassion is different. It's not understanding level, it is based on the experience. You visualize suffering beings and generate compassion, cultivate compassion. When you cultivate, the cultivation of compassion must be there continuously, without distract, without having laxity. The compassion must be there. Always there's stillness there. Yes, this answer for you. Any question?
Yes.
Hi, Genla.
Okay.
I have a couple of questions. The first is, if you're a beginner and you're, is it better to choose an object that is a simple, say for example, image of a Buddha, or would it be better to have a more complicated image of the Buddha, say Yamantaka, because it would increase your mental strength? I mean, there seems to be benefits for a simple Buddha as well, just to achieve serenity.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be better, do you think?
The best, easy, effective one, please use the simple one. Many, Buddha Shakyamuni, no big, not too small, maybe just 1 feet, maybe half feet of Buddha. Therefore, what, many masters says, first you just roughly remember the Buddha's image in your mind, not very detailed. After you have a complete image of the Buddha, then you focus upon the forehead. Few days, then slowly eyes, nose, air, face. Slowly you can have a more detail. Somehow at the end, you need to visualize very complete, the image of the Buddha. Therefore, at the beginning, as a beginner, use the simple object, not the Yamantaka, even the 4 arm Chenrezig, 11 arm Chenrezig, 11 face Chenrezig, those are quite become complicated, not easy to remember. Please do the simple one.
Okay.
Next question.
The second question is, if you didn't choose a Buddha image, because you can basically achieve serenity on any object, you could potentially do it on a moving object, like something like the breath. Although I can't see how that would be good, because my understanding is you're bringing your attention inwards to focus on something that's stable. And something that's stable is a mental image. And a mental image is stable because it's permanent, because it's there and it doesn't change. So it would be more complicated to do it on the breath. Am I understanding this correctly? It's just I guess a doubt that I have. I just want to make sure I understand.
Yes, you are very right. You can use any object for achieving serenity. But one thing, for example, you really like food, you really like a drink, you really like someone. These things you should not use as an object of meditation. You can see the object are very clearly, very vividly, but at the same time, the attachment, the desire, things is always there as a, what you call aura. Therefore, you need to choose an object which is very stable for you. Make sure when you visualize, when you focus on the mental image, make sure not cause to arouse attachment, desire, anger, and hatred. This is very important. So second part, I'm not quite understand what you are saying, the moving parts.
I guess what I'm trying to express is, when you eventually hopefully get to serenity and you continue on with your stable mental image, you need to analyze things like impermanence. But if your mental image is permanent because it's something that's static, that's in your mind, that might be a bit tricky.
Oh, no. Because there's a, so also the next class it will come. Also, please you read the, experience songs of Lama Tsong-kha-pa, right?
Okay.
So when you achieve serenity, you look like your mind, your attention become look like Mount Meru. Cannot be moved by any kind of other mental distraction. So when you release, when you let it go, it can go with a virtuous action. It look like bringing water in the good irrigations. So when you have a very stable mental image in your mind, there won't be any problem. Next, when you use other object, you can use, because you totally control your attention. Very easy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Gemma.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think, is there any question?
Yes, Geshe, we have 2 more questions.
Okay, why not?
Yeah, so next go to Catherine. Catherine?
Good afternoon, Geshe and good afternoon all. Yeah, can I ask you a question on ethical discipline?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say, for example, we have a project to pool funds for maybe say a chanting event. However, after that, we still receive some more funds. So let's say it's winter time, so the Sangha needs warm clothing and we buy warm clothing for them. Is this considered as unethical because the money is meant for chanting? However, because we have surplus and we buy warm clothing for the Sangha. Yeah, your advice please. Thank you.
Actually, in the class I explained, things belongs to whom? Whom? For example, you raise money for, like a chanting events. So you need $100. Somehow you raise more than 100. You raise $150. You spend $100. So you raise you $150. You spend $100 for the actual purpose. You stay by $50. So if you use the $50 for other virtuous action, other good deeds, are not considered as unethical. No. For example, many people raise money for building a temple. So after they raise a lot of money, there's a leftover money, there's a more than enough money. This money they used to build a Buddha statue. They used to build a lab-ready hospital. That means it's not really considered unethical. It's a very, good, good deeds, also used in the proper way, not considered as unethical. No. Yes. Next question, please.
Yeah, the
Thank you.
last question is from Ken V.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Geshe-la, how do we have compassion for others and ourselves? Do we do compassion for ourselves before others, or can we do it at once without conflict?
We should not say, we must have compassion ourselves. We say, we must like ourselves. We must like ourselves. We must care ourselves. Compassion always, love and compassion. But in English say, I love myself. That means it's very similar with I like myself. Therefore, I told the English language is not exactly, very stable, very suit to describe Dharma. Therefore, compassion, love only for others. You should not have a compassion yourself. You should not have a love yourself. You care yourself. You like yourself. You care. You should not have a compassion yourself. No. The compassion, love always for others. Therefore, you must learn the definition of compassion, the definition of love. For having compassion for others is very easy, but make sure when you have a compassion for others, make sure the compassion not contaminated by attachment, not conditioned compassion. Yes. Okay, so everybody, thank you so much for attending the class. So tomorrow morning, so we have a Q&A session. As a beginning, I will explain a little bit about entering into middle way. So, and thank you so much. So please, everybody, purely dedicate and merit ourselves, become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Also, please dedicate the merit for world peace, happiness for all sentient beings.